Welcome to the check-in on H&C, the show where we find out how people are coping during the lockdown and share advice and tips on how to get through it. In this show, we can't send our camera crews out at the moment, but that has not stopped me getting in touch. Coming up on the show, we chat to Equestrian Relief founder Nina Barbour and find out how she's roped celebrity riders into raising money for the NHS. We also talk to CEO of the Pony Club, Marcus Capel. But first, I caught up with trainer Caroline Moore to find out about her new series on H&C. So I'm now going to catch up with the wonderfully brilliant, talented trainer extraordinaire, Caroline Moore. Caroline, good morning. Thank you for coming on my show.
Good morning, Jenny. Hi.
How are you? Where are you? You're in a house, isolated. Tell us how Caroline Moore's coping with the lockdown situation.
Well, actually, I'm actually getting a little bit of time to myself at long last. I'm normally working quite long hours. So all of a sudden, I'm in Melton Mowbray, locked down in a house. And it feels very, very weird. My body suddenly had to stop a little bit. So, it's actually quite good. We're doing quite a lot of work for some PowerPoints and things like that for different presentations. So I'm keeping myself well busy.
Yeah, you are an extraordinary busy person. I've often tried to get hold of you. We're trying to fit in days to do some filming. We had a plan for a new show. And you are very difficult to track down. So this must be quite weird for you.
It's almost, I dare say it, quite pleasant. I mean, I'm really sad that the eventing has stopped and everything has stopped. And it's a very sad time. But I'm just quietly enjoying having time to myself just to catch up on things. And I'm raring to go again when we start. Yeah.
A little kind of a reset button.
Absolutely that, yes. Catching up with all my clients and chatting through preparation for when we get back into things and thinking that it's going to be quite an intense end to the season. So yeah, it's going to be quite exciting. Yeah.
And this is a perfect time to talk to you because we have just launched on the H&C free channel so everyone can watch it. Your incredible series. I was nearly late calling you, in fact, because I was watching it and I was obsessed. It's 4 years to 5-star now. Because
absolutely, yes.
Still getting my head around that. But 4 years to 5-star. And it's a mini series of 19 videos. And we've just launched this because the Pony Club got in contact with you. They wanted you to help them out with content while this difficult time's happening. And we've luckily been able to collaborate with you and launch this on the free channel. So it's amazing. Tell us a little bit about it.
Well, it came about that I just wanted to put some videos together with Roz and some of my other people that I help, just really to almost catalogue some exercises that are really good to help produce good basics. When we're training the event horse, they've got so many different skills they have to achieve, and it's massively important that the basics are put down, in a real correct way, so the riders and horses can cope with things. Cross country, show jumping, etc. I think the way we've done it is so it's very hopefully easy to read and to follow. So it's very, very clear in what is sort of laid down. Yeah.
And it's an amazing series. So when the Pony Club got in contact with you, I'm guessing that was because Roz came up through the Pony Club, so many top riders came up through the Pony Club. So that must have felt like a really nice fit to be able to launch this with Horse and Country to give them something to watch.
Absolutely, because all the exercises are very what I call low impact exercises. You don't have to jump big fences. They're all about using poles, small cavalettis. But actually, even though they are sort of low impact without too much of equipment, we use them for advanced horses as well. So they're from the very, very basics up to a top level, but not having to jump big fences. So they're absolutely ideal for younger riders coming through wanting to progress their horses through the levels.
And we have to kind of add at the moment, watch it, don't go and do it. Wait until this is all over to put this into practice.
Absolutely. The clear message at the moment is that we don't want to be putting our NHS under any extra stress. So no jumping, nothing that actually puts you at risk. So no going out of your boundaries at all.
And what I love about the videos, because I attempt to event myself, although after having children, I think my horse wears me less I ride him. But what I love is the slow-mo. You really break it down, and there's a few examples where Roz seems to do it perfectly, and then another rider comes along that might not do it in quite the same way, and you slow it down, you break it down, so you can really see. Because we use these terms, don't we, in teaching, inside leg to outside rein, or don't use too much inside rein. And often it's really hard to understand that, but you've slowed it down so much, you've made it really, really easy to understand.
Yes, these exercises, or the videos rather, are only sort of 3 or 4 minutes long, so they're fairly easy to digest. But as you were saying, Jenny, I've sort of stopped areas which I think are really, really important, and put a little bit of writing on the screen as such, so people can really understand what's meant to be the aim of the exercise.
And you like a skinny, don't you?
Yeah, I think it's very much what I call a millimetre in a split second sport. It's although we're galloping across country, jumping big fences at speed, it is all about discipline and tiny little margins, especially if you're trying to be a champion. So right from the word go, we train our younger horses to walk through flags, train the younger riders, the 8-9-year-old children, to steer over tiny little narrow area, or through narrow areas, so they learn how to steer really early on, and they learn the importance of the discipline of the sport. And anybody that thinks that it's not a really disciplined sport will probably be happy at finishing sort of in the second half of their section. But if you want to win, you have to be really, really accurate right through all 3 disciplines. So that would be, and I'll speak from Roz's point of view as well, one of our top philosophies, that we cross every T and dot every I, and make sure that everything's done to the most accurate we possibly can.
And I was lucky enough to film with Roz last year before she had her little tiny baby, and we filmed a masterclass extra with her. And again, she almost kind of mimics a lot of what you say as well. What was really interesting was that kind of, I've always been taught with my horse, who's a bit of a pain, he likes to gallop a fence, shorten up your rein, oh, get hold of him. Blah. Whereas now I channel my inner Roz when I'm going into a fence. That longer rein, using my body, using my eyes, and that really, it's something massively clicked with me when I watched that masterclass with her. And that's something that comes across all the time. And because you've slowed down these videos and you've pinpointed it, you can actually see what you're talking about. It's brilliant.
Absolutely. I mean, Roz is obviously, she's not very tall. And she's certainly, although she's strong in her core, the big, strong horses, she has to adopt some really, she has adopted some real skillful aids of being able to train her horses to be completely obedient. And it's all about having a sort of a deep core position, allowing the horse to have a length of neck so he can keep his own balance, use his eyesight. And the longer the neck is, the further away from a fence you actually are. So you lose the sort of run towards the bottom of the fence sort of feeling. It allows the horses to stay in a better rhythm, but more than anything, it stops the horses pulling against you, which is probably, if you looked at the percentage of amateur riders, the majority of them would encourage a horse to be a little bit stronger by naturally going a little bit more to the hand rather than the seat or the back. Yeah.
So, and obviously, you and Roz are great friends, as well as you're her trainer. You train her, but watching her go around those big 5 stars, and then at the World Equestrian Games, that must be quite nerve-wracking for you, being at those events and seeing her go.
Yeah, without a shadow of a doubt, the nerves do kick in. However, it's unbelievable when you're very confident in somebody's ability. You don't get complacent about it, but it's not as nerve-wracking as anything else when you're really confident in somebody. Yes.
And how was that feeling at the World Equestrian Games when she won gold? She is a world champion. Your horse is world champion. I mean, that's like top of the world stuff.
It was an incredible whirlwind of a week with lots of things that challenged us through the week, with just an amazing end result. And Roz, I mean, she rode the show jumping round of her life. In my eyes, it was pretty foot perfect. He had one little rattle of a fence, but other than that, you know, it was, she rode without showing any sort of nerves or anything within her riding. Yeah, it's good.
She's extraordinary, isn't she? She's like that nerves of steel almost. You know her better than me. Is it always like that?
I think just recently, over the last 2 or 3 years, she's developed a system she, like all riders, will take information and help from lots of different coaches, and they develop their own personal system. And Roz definitely over the last few years has done that. So she's very clear about knowing exactly what she wants to do, and allows the horses to make their own mistakes if necessary. But at the same time, you know, they use their own eyesight there. It's very much a partnership together, and it really, really works.
Well, thank you so much for talking to us. And I hope that you enjoy this slight time of relaxation. I know how busy you are, so I'm quite pleased to see that you're enjoying a little bit of downtime.
But anybody.
Yeah. And hopefully I can come up and see you soon, and we can get some more filming done. But this series is absolutely brilliant, and when I get 2 minutes to myself, when there's not a screaming child or work to do, I am going to absolutely lap up every single bit of it and try and put it into use when it's safe to get back on my horse. But thank you so much for talking to us.
Not a problem. Thank you very much, Jenny.
And stay safe, Caroline. Cheers. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Bye-bye. Bye.
I'm now going to chat to Marcus Capel, CEO of the Pony Club. Marcus, good morning. Thank you for coming on the show.
Hi there, Jenny. Really good to see you. It's my pleasure to be here. Thanks for having me.
So this is, you've got a big smile on your face. The sun is shining, but we've had a difficult couple of weeks, and I'm guessing the Pony Club, this is the ideal time for this institution to come together, pull together, at times like this. So how is the Pony Club handling the current challenges?
Yeah, absolutely. It's really pulled together. Some really, really creative ideas coming through from the branches and our centres. Obviously, great disappointment at all the activity being curtailed, but the creativity has leapt to the fore, and there's all sorts of things going on. And I think that the toilet roll challenge is in full swing at the moment, with branches joining in there. We've also got lots of quizzes going around. The Easter bonnets are being designed. We've got lots of fun learning going on through the achievement badges, and branches are using the resources and the centres as well. And they're also sharing a lot of stuff, which is great. The WhatsApp feed has been absolutely red hot, with ideas pinging backwards and forth. So lots happening.
And looking as well, that Horse and Country and Caroline Moore and the Pony Club, we've had a little collaboration go on. A series called 4 Years to 5 Star that Caroline Moore, a little mini 19-part series, brilliant Caroline Moore, but she wanted to roll this out with the Pony Club.
Yeah, it's fantastic. So appreciate it, this offer from Caroline. She came and presented at our coaching conference last year and went down a storm. She was brilliant. Her ideas, her enthusiasm, her inspiration, her creativity, the cross-country course on the back of her boot. She carries in her car these core set of jumps. But she was brilliant at being able to challenge and extend at all levels. And I think it was really inspirational. And certainly, I think we had 300 or 400 actually at the conference, and they were all inspired by her. And that was at the beginning of last year, and we've sort of kept that relationship. But she offered through one of our area reps that to share the content at this time with us, and then the relationship with Horse and Country was there as well, which just made so much sense. So really, really exciting, and huge thank you to Caroline for allowing us that content. I know Pony Club members are going to really enjoy looking at that and really enjoy watching it.
Yeah, and anyone who wants to see that, it is on the free channel. It's 4 Years to 5 Star, and it's a 19-part mini-series, and Ros Cantor's in it as well. And And we have to say, though, that at the moment, obviously, we aren't wanting to put pressure on the NHS. What's the Pony Club advice? Watch the 4 years to 5 stars, but let's just watch it for now, and we'll get back to it once this is all over. Where does the Pony Club stand with advice on this?
Yeah, absolutely. This will be a fantastic inspirational series to watch. It'll be really frustrating that you can't then get out straight onto your horse or pony and have a go at the exercises. At the moment, we're following the EF advice, which is not riding unless you need to for the welfare of your horse or pony. It is difficult because we must minimise the impact on the NHS. And the advice is not to do anything risky as such, but also we've got to be mindful of the welfare of horses and ponies, and some of the laminitic ponies, etc. They can't be just chucked out into a field. Being box rested for who knows how long is going to be a real challenge. And actually, rather than having a child leading out a pony to graze at hand, some of these horses and ponies are better off ridden to keep them exercised and for their welfare. So we're taking that stance at the moment. Riding hasn't been banned by the government, but the advice is to minimise the potential impact from the NHS. So being mindful of that, that's the line we're taking, which is in line with British Equestrian Federation and the other member bodies. So.
And I'm sure one of my editors can put a lovely logo below you where we can share some information for your members, or for anyone who might not be a member but just needs that bit of advice, because I'm guessing advice is open to all.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. So www.pcuk.org, there's the website. There's everything on there. There's links there that will take you to further advice. But we're all about promoting an animal welfare and looking after our horses and ponies, and that's absolutely top. You know, that they are our friends. We're passionate about them, and that's what we're in it together. So.
Well, yeah. Marcus, it's been so lovely to chat to you. Thank you so much. And it's so great. It's brought back a lot of childhood memories for me. Just the Pony Club, I absolutely love it. I'm a big fan, big supporter. And it's so nice to hear of all the amazing things you're doing, helping people and horses get through this pretty rubbish time. But it's so nice that feeling of everyone coming together is there as well.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you very much for having me. It's a pleasure to talk to you, Jenny.
And stay safe.
Yeah, and you. Take care. Bye.
Now I'm joined by Maverick. I'm also joined by the founder of Equestrian Relief, Nina Barbour. Lots of people will know Nina as the lady behind Bolesworth and Liverpool International, but she joins me now. Nina, thank you so much for talking to us. It's so nice to have you on the show.
Oh, well, it's lovely to be on the show, and it's great to have things put in the diary at the moment, isn't it, when we're all at home and in the current challenging situation.
And for those who haven't seen it, and if you haven't seen any of the info on Equestrian Relief, where have you been? Tell us a little bit about it and what the idea is.
Well, I was sat here on my own in the office, because I'm lucky to have the office at home, so I've got lots of space to think, a couple of weeks ago. And I thought, well, actually, you know, we're all in a similar position here. We're normally so used to being flat out doing stuff, and we've obviously had a lot of business challenges to get over. We've had to make some really tough decisions, but I thought, well, right, we've got to the point where wouldn't it be nice if we got the equestrian world together and tried to do some good, tried to create some content which brought a little bit of relief to the horse world, and hopefully a bit wider than that, and then actually, you know, set ourselves with a challenge to raise a chunk of money that would make a difference to the people that are really behind the crisis at the moment, the NHS and all of those nurses and staff on the front line that are trying to, you know, keep everybody well and help us out of the current situation. So was the idea that I came up with, was Equestrian Relief, which was to bring together teams from different disciplines and different areas of the horse world. So we started with 2 show jumping teams. Obviously, that's what we know, where most of our friends are. An eventing team, a dressage team, and then a racing team. And then latterly, we've also been joined by a polo team and a team of presenters, a little bit like yourself, headed up by Alice Plunkett. So we've got a really wide range of amazing people on board. So it's very exciting.
And just give us a few names of who people can expect, because you've got some pretty famous faces in there.
We do, and I'm going to say absolutely everybody participating is a highlight. But if I pick out some of the even more amazing ones, the eventing team is headed up by Zara Phillips. with Ros Cantor and Oliver Townend, Ben Hobday. Dressage, we've got Carl Hester and Richard Davison leading the way. With the show jumping, Scott Brash is heading up the southern team with Daisy and Shane as active participants from Hickstead, along with Jay Hallam and a few friends. And then Jeff Billington, Anthony Condon, Will and Ellen Whitaker. And then racing-wise, we've got a few standout names. We've got Frankie Dettori on board, who's been amazing so far, helping us launch the project. AP McCoy. And then Alice Plunkett has brought together a selection of presenters, mainly from ITV. Mark Tomlinson has headed up a team of polo players. So huge broad spectrum of amazing equestrian athletes and presenters and connections from the media world. So very excited.
And tell us about the challenges, because they're not on horseback. We're doing our bit to make sure that we're not putting any pressure on the NHS, although some people are baking, which might be slightly worrying.
Yeah, I have to say that is absolutely the aim, is to keep everything as safe as possible, and also so everybody at home can have a go. We're running a competition after everybody's done their challenges as of tomorrow, so that everybody can have a go, and there'll be some prizes online for those. But our challenges kick off with the 5K run. So there are some people that have been taking this very, very seriously. AP, for example, I'm slightly worried he might break down trying to break the land speed record. And other teams struggling to find athletes to represent them for this challenge. That's
hilarious. Yeah, I'm friends with Jay Hallam, and I've seen that he's actually been putting in some training. These guys are super competitive. What have you started?
They are all in it to win it. So there's a lot of team rivalry going on, which is great to see. And then obviously Friday, we're heading into the Easter weekend, and we've got an Easter bake-off. So I've seen some incredible creations, which I'm in awe of, because I can't cook bacon and egg hardly, let alone create an amazing cake. So that's Fridays. And then I think probably the most challenging for a lot of them is the horse-drawn painting competition, which is Saturday night. So the challenge is to represent on canvas your greatest equestrian achievement, including horse. So once they've been judged, so these great works of art will also be placed on the online auction for people to bid on. So yeah, so there's no pressure there, obviously.
And then it all kind of finishes with a special kind of surprise talent, isn't it?
Well, it finishes with a hidden talent. Now, I think it goes without saying that some of those may well need to be hidden again pretty soon afterwards. But there's some amazing ones coming through. And I'd say Shane Breen is, having had a bit of a sneak preview at some of the content, Shane Breen's top of my leaderboard at the moment.
Oh, amazing. So all of this going on, how, where and when can I watch it? Because I cannot wait.
So everything, all the information, including the full schedule, is on our website, which is equestrianrelief.com. But we'll be putting out the content, you can see it first, across the Liverpool International Horse Show social media channels. So if you, and the links of which are on the Equestrian Relief website. So one way or another, that's how you'll find it.
And we will share all those links as well.
Yeah, and it'll be we set the scene yesterday and the day before at 7 o'clock, and all these challenges and the final presentation next Monday will all be posted first at 7 o'clock on those Liverpool International Horse Show channels.
Amazing. I cannot wait to see it. I love the fact you can't just go, right, I can sit back, isolate and relax for a while. You had to give yourself something to do, didn't you, Nina?
Well, I did. I thrive on deadlines, and I was sat there feeling a little bit lost. So I thought, right, okay, let's set a challenge. And there's no use doing this in a few weeks' time. It's now. We're at the peak of this crisis. And, you know, I think we all watch the news every night, and it's harrowing to see. So I think, although this is, you know, we're aiming to bring a bit of light-hearted content into the mix, the mission behind this is very much to support the cause, which is the NHS and the nurses on the front line, you know, when they need that cash the most. So I just ask anybody that is in a position to do so, because there's many people that aren't as fortunate as us and can't, but anybody that is, you know, just ask that they visit the website and they support what they can.
And on the website, there's all the details, I'm guessing, of how to donate as well.
There are, absolutely. And also we've been donated some absolutely incredible auction prizes. So everything from amazing racing yard visits through to experiencing real life as a Cheshire housewife for the day with all the trimmings.
Wow.
So
I have the small dog.
Absolutely.
Well, it all sounds amazing, and Nina, as always, you do have this way of bringing riders together in whatever it is, making them ride camels around your arena, or Superman costumes on the back of a horse, but this time you've done it for an incredible cause, and I cannot wait to follow your progress, and I urge people to get on the website and donate and help you raise much needed funds. But thank you so much for talking to us, and you're just amazing as always, and it's going to be a lot of fun.
Thank you very much for having me, and we'll look forward to seeing you out on the other side sometime soon.
Yeah, and hopefully let's catch up when this is all over, and then you can tell me how everyone got on, and we can find out some of those secret talents.
I'll show you a few of the takeouts.
Yeah. I'll keep you to that. Thanks very much, Nina, and stay safe.
Thank you. We'll see you soon, and same to you.
Thank you.
Bye.